Hello and welcome back. Let's talk about crisis communications. Remember when Planned Parenthood was accused of selling aborted fetuses for profit? Or when the Sierra Club was accused of accepting money from natural gas companies? Or when the Boy Scouts had to deal with sexual assault allegations? If such crises are not handled properly, they can negatively affect stakeholders, an organization, or even an entire industry. Crisis communications is like CPR. It might not literally be about saving your own life, but it could very well be about saving your organization and its ability to carry out its mission. So here are 10 steps for what a crisis communications plan should include. Step 1. Do a risk assessment for your organization. Get together some of your colleagues and imagine what might go wrong for your project or for your organization. Could excessive compensation become a scandal? Might a donor complain about misuse of her money? Could hackers steal money? Be creative. For once, it's okay to be negative in order to positively prepare. Step 2. Put together your crisis communications team. It should consist of a small group of senior people within your organization. Typically, it will include the CEO, the in-house PR person, and the head of the division involved in the crisis. It should also include your legal counsel and your social media person. A common mistake of an organization in the middle of a crisis is to carry on business as usual on its social media platforms and appearing tone-deaf and disengaged to the public. Step 3. Identify and train your spokespeople. Spokespeople have to be right in several ways. They have to have the right position in the organization's hierarchy to be credible, but they also must have the right communication skills and the right preparation to be effective. Your spokesperson should have the ability to speak clearly and without jargon, and to keep strong eye contact and to limit ahs and ums while speaking. He or she should also appear relaxed and not fidgety in interviews. A great way to train your spokespeople is by videotaping role-playing exercises. Step 4. Identify your stakeholders. Who will be your most important audiences in a crisis? Often this will involve your customers and clients, or your donors and investors. It should also include internal audiences like staff and board members. It's a common mistake during crises to neglect internal audiences. Other stakeholders in a crisis might include local, state, and federal lawmakers. Another important group is external validators, meaning people who are willing to vouch for you in public. Traditional and social media, of course, are also important audiences. Step 5. Prepare holding statements. When a crisis hits, it's important for an organization to put out a statement as soon as possible. If you wait too long, others will frame the conversation for you, and it'll be hard to undo whatever initial perception is created. Holding statements can be developed in advance of a crisis. While they will typically not say much of substance, they will communicate that the organization is engaged and seriously focused on dealing with the crisis. For example, if you are a local nonprofit whose community is hit by a natural disaster, your holding statement might be something like this. We are executing our crisis response plan, which places top priority on the well-being and safety of all members of our community. Our thoughts are with those in harm's way. We will provide additional information on our website as soon as it becomes available. Step 6. Put in place notification and monitoring protocols. During a crisis, it is important to get your message out, but also to make sure you get the information in that you need to make wise decisions. Be prepared to briefly freeze all your organization's communications channels while you ready your immediate crisis response. In terms of monitoring, it's important to keep an eye on social media to not get blindsided by anything that might gain traction there. Good old-fashioned Google alerts can also serve an invaluable role in monitoring communications during a crisis. Also, know in advance where on your website and your social media platforms you will publish crisis-related information. Step 7. When a crisis happens, communicating quickly is important. But take time to assess the situation together with your crisis communications team, rather than just acting right away. Your ability to assess the situation during a crisis will greatly benefit from having made the preparations we just went over, including defining who should be on your crisis communications team. Step 8. As soon as possible after a crisis has begun, finalize your key messages. With a holding statement issued, the crisis communications team must quickly act to develop messages tailored to the respective crisis situation. Here are some general principles that should guide the development of these messages. Be honest and take responsibility. If a mistake was made, admit it, and then immediately say what will be done to prevent it from happening again. Remember that cover-ups often cause greater damage than the original problem. Show emotion and empathy. Acknowledge the experience of people affected by the crisis. Put yourself in their shoes and choose your words accordingly. Avoid saying no comment, because that makes you look guilty. Get out ahead of the story. If you discover a serious problem within your organization, it might be a good idea to announce it publicly yourself before it triggers a crisis. By coming clean on your own terms, you will be stealing the thunder of somebody else who would be breaking the story. Always brief all potential spokespeople on the latest status of the crisis and on the key messages you have developed. Step 9. Do a post-mortem when the crisis is over. Analyze what went right and what went wrong during the crisis. Based on this, update your crisis communications plan accordingly. This analysis doesn't have to be lengthy and expensive. A simple in-house brainstorming session can yield valuable results. And finally, step 10. Once a year, do a crisis exercise. Pretend something bad has happened. Assemble your crisis communications team. Have the team talk about what messages to put out. This exercise may reveal tensions between what your legal counsel is comfortable with and what your PR person thinks should be said. By doing an annual exercise, your team will be better prepared for these kind of dynamics when the real thing happens. I hope this information has made you curious to learn more about crisis communications and prepare your organization for it. To help you do this, the email summary will contain book tips, so you can dive deeper into the ins and outs of crisis communications.